Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Radiance 32BH. This is honestly a bunkhouse layout I absolutely love. I think there's a lot that they did right here, a lot of things that they nailed. We'll start off here in the main living area. When we go back to the bunk room, you will see that this is a quad bunk, nice big bunks, bath and a half floor plan, plus a residential king bed up front. So let's start off on the super slide. You will see the dinette right over here to the side. Plenty of room for 4 people. Let me slide my big old butt over in here, but as you can see, I have plenty of room for another person on this side, 2 more, so you have a spot to eat meals, play games, do everything you need a table for. This naturally drops down into a bed. Not a big bed, but it does work for small kiddos, or if you need a spot to put a pack and play, this is a perfect spot for it. Underneath, you will see storage on both sides. It has the door to swing open. With this style storage, I personally prefer some kind of like bin or something in here. The reason being, well, yes, this can be more convenient than lifting up the cushion, especially if people are on it. The problem is to access it, you got to kind of do one of these, get down in here, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, not great on the knees. So I see what they went with there, and it is better than nothing at all, but I personally like when they put a tote in there that's already pre-sized for it. I would personally go out and buy something that I can fit in there. Right here on the back side, you will see a couple USB ports, place to plug in cell phones, whether you're at the dinette or sitting right here in the tri-fold sofa. Great thing about this sofa is twofold. Well, besides the armrests, it does have armrests making it comfortable, but one, it's a direct shot to the TV. I love that they did this. It's not the easiest thing to accomplish, especially when you have a bunkhouse. I think they nailed it here. It is a little close to the bunk room, so if you're watching something late at night, it might keep the kids up, which could be a downside, but I do like the fact that I can come in, kick back, relax. I have a straight shot to the TV. Also, if you have additional guests that need to stay the night, this does pull out into a bed. Now, the bed will cut off the bunk room, so bear in mind if the kids need to come out here, then it could be a problem. But if they have to use a bathroom, there is a half bath back there, so it kind of helps alleviate that issue. But I do like that they have the extra sleeping capacity. Also, all the way around up top, you'll see that in lieu of storage, they don't have big windows letting in a lot of natural light. Before we go back, I guess I'll show this. A little bit of storage here, both top and bottom. Electrical out there, electrical outlet there too, in case you need to plug anything in. And when we come back into the bunk room, so again, I think they did a killer job here. You have a slide out, 275-pound weight capacity on the top bunk. This does fold up. You have the 2 cube-style sofas underneath, which, my personal opinion, if you have kids, these are one of the best options. They're versatile. It can be a couch. You can, have them face each other like it is right now. So if they have friends, they can sit there and I don't know, it just kind of creates a little more fun environment, I guess. You can fold both of those out into a large bed as well. And then right up top, you have big double bunks here. You can see how nice and large those bunks are. Another big one underneath. I'll shut this door so you can take a look. So another big bunk right down here. You have lights in both the top and bottom. You have electrical outlets in both the top and bottom. I think they absolutely nailed it in the bunk room, especially, as I mentioned previously, because there is a half bath. Now, when I sit in here, I wish they would have turned the toilet this way. I know they didn't, so it's easier to get in and to the sink. But it does make it a little tough to use. But again, it's mainly going to be kids that are back here. Not a huge deal. My leg hits a little bit, but I understand why they turned it, and it probably was necessary. Underneath, you have good storage as well, so I love that. Of course, you have your sink there, electrical outlet, mirrored medicine cabinet up top, vent fan there too. So if the kids are making a mess back there, you can vent it out. And as we come out of the bunk room, back into the main living area. So as I mentioned, entertainment center right across from that tri-fold sofa, storage up top and down below, multimedia center that is Bluetooth capable, and also a DVD player. While we're talking about it, the TV here, it's locked. This is a swing arm mount. Undo the lock first. That's what this is for, by the way. Pull that down. That will allow this to swing out. So if you're watching from the dinette, you're in the kitchen, you want to, watch a favorite cooking show, or maybe watch one of our YouTube videos, whatever it may be. The TV does swing around, so that way you again have some more viewing angles. Before we open up the fridge, I will show you this right over here to the side. So you'll see here, it's a good extra pantry storage. It doesn't quite open all the way up because the fridge is right there, but it opens up enough that you pretty much have full access all the way down. The fridge itself, I took the travel lock off, stainless steel front. This is a Everchill 12-volt compressor-driven refrigerator. So this one only runs off electricity. Nice and easy to use. I mean, you can just push and hold right there to turn it on. The thermostat's right up there. You'll see that you have a crisper drawer too. And, you know, again, just runs off 12 volt. With these, from my understanding, is they're pretty low power draw. So if you have a couple batteries and enough solar, you can basically run this nonstop off just that, which is pretty great. You also see a microwave up top with a hood underneath, having a light and fan. Storage all the way across our L-shaped kitchen here. Open this up just to kind of give you an idea of depth, so pretty decent there. And then right down underneath, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the Radiance line, and that is the fact that even though it's an ultralight, a lightweight travel trailer, they use solid surface countertops. I love that. They're nice and durable. It gives it a great appearance. You'll see this kitchen setup. You have plenty of prep space right here, especially in conjunction with your recessed cooktop and the sink top here. So when I take that off, this of course is a cutting board. You'll see the large single bowl stainless steel sink, high-rise faucet. And because this one is so light, you know, you have light countertops, lighter floor, nice light wallboard. They're able to go with oil rub bronze finishes here. So, you know, while you have stainless and black appliances, they're able to do the oil rub bronze there. Same thing with the pulls, just kind of a different look than what we've commonly been seeing. Another electrical outlet here. You have two of them. I say another because I forgot to talk about the first one. But you have one here, another one right up there. So a couple different spots to plug in appliances. 3 full extension drawers. The first one right up top already has your divider in it for your flatware, which is fantastic. Bottom one is deeper for some of your larger items. And then over to the side, this is my one hang up where I think that they kind of missed, in my opinion. I wish they wouldn't have had the shelf in there, or, you know, at least on one side. So I had a spot for a trash can. That's, you know, just my kind of, my personal complaints. I guess let me know what you guys think. Would you prefer a shelf? You know, maybe that's just me. Also, there's another electrical outlet right over here to the side, so plenty of places to plug everything in. Thermostat to control the ducted AC as well as the ducted heat. Main control panel here. A couple things I do want to mention real quick. Of course, your tank monitoring panel is on here. But one is the fact that you have 2 cabin lights. One of them is for the main living area. The other one is actually for the bedroom. So in case you're wondering, that's what that one goes to. You'll also see the battery disconnect is inside. So that is nice and easy. You can just push that in. That will kill all power to the RV. Then when we make our way into the bathroom here, in the corner, foot flush lever toilet. It is a plastic bowl. You know, again, they probably did that for weight, especially because they had like solid surface countertops in the kitchen, but I still would have preferred porcelain. That's probably something I would switch out. As far as space, I'm 6 foot tall. I have more than enough room here. Over to the side, you have a huge linen closet. If you can sneak in there without me hitting the camera. So you can see there. Plenty of space for linen closet. You have 3 cabinets, so lots of space. Neo-angle shower in the corner. I'll step in here. So even without the skylight, you can see, you know, like right here, basically I can still clear the ceiling with that skylight. You can probably be 6'3", not have to duck down. Of course, you have the hand wand, some shelves in there. The hand wand's also mounted nice and tall, which I like. Some manufacturers put it like right here, and you know, it's like spraying on my belly button. Like it doesn't do anything for me. This one is nice and high, so you can, you know, makes it a little bit easier to wash your hair, everything else you need to do. Of course, the doors are also in the roller tracks, which are great. I do have space to turn around in there, and plus, when you open it up after showering, all the water goes right down into the shower pan, unlike a curtain or sometimes a swing door where it gets all over the floor. Mirrored medicine cabinet there too. It's a nice wood medicine cabinet. It's not an inexpensive plastic one. Kind of unlike the sink, this is a plastic sink. You know, again, I would have preferred something that's stainless. I know they do make stainless ones that are this size. It might not quite have fit the look. I don't know, but I would have preferred that. But again, oil rub bronze fixtures here, electrical outlet off to the side, and then some storage here underneath. As we make our way into the bedroom, you can sneak right up into here. So there are 2 entrances and exits. One is the one right into the bathroom, as you can see. You have a, let me undo this lock. You have a slider door here. That does lock. Make sure you lock it when you travel so it's not bouncing all over. The other entrance will be right over here. So the main reason they do that, one, of course, is if someone is in the bathroom, you're not locked in. But 2, you have a king-size bed, and this is a full 80-inch residential king-size bed, 72 inches wide by 80 inches long. So you don't have a ton of space in here, so it is nice to be able to enter from both sides to access the bed. But again, nice big bed. You don't have to worry about elbowing each other, full length. Your feet aren't hanging off. You have great nightstands there with electrical outlets, USB ports. This one side, let me kind of tuck this underneath, I'll show you. You even have a little clothes hamper. My thing here, right, so they have the really nice hinges on there. I just wish they would have finished this off, right? I feel like if I throw clothes in there, it's going to snag a little bit. I don't want anything to tear. I don't know. I just feel like they could have used some T-mold or something, put around there, something. But small, very small, minor thing. It's an easy fix. Right up top, you know, this is the other downside of having a king-size bed. While it is nice to have the wider bed, you know, the bed kind of has to line up with your nightstands and your wardrobes here. So because of that, this is a little bit skinnier. You'll see you have hanging rods on both sides, storage across the top, LED light inlaid there. There is another light underneath here for reading, and as I mentioned, this light is actually controlled by that main control panel I showed you earlier. Last thing I want to touch on is if you do want TV, that is where you'll mount it. Connections are right up top on the ceiling. Should probably also mention, underneath the bed, folks, there is still storage, so don't think there's not. It is strut supported, very easy to access that. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2020 Radiance 32BH. Up front here is a power tongue jack, making it easier to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle. This is optional. We have optioned this one in. Simply flip the rocker switch to raise and lower the tongue. Also, you have a light for in case you're hooking up or disconnecting at night. And as all power tongue jacks, this one does have a manual override, so you don't get stuck out at the campsite. Behind that, two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover. You'll also see rails for your battery. And coming up the front is the diamond plating here, helping to protect that front end from some of the rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. Up above that is the 3/4 front cap. You'll see your LED lights are inlaid in there. Great looking cap. I do like the difference in the colors. I actually like the decals on this one overall. They it's a little more modern. You know, they kind of use a lot of lines and color blocking. I think they did a pretty good job. Let me know what you guys think, you know, whether you like it or you'd rather see something else. You also see a covered hinge that we don't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. It is a slam latch and it's magnetic, so you can put it up just like so you don't have to worry about the kids coming by, slamming this down and breaking the little plastic clip that's on there. If you take a look inside, you will see it is a very spacious pass-through. A ton of room in here, same size door on the other side. You have an LED light strip going all the way across, and I showed you a little clothes hamper. This is where it dumps into right here. So you'd put your little clothes basket there, drops right down in. I would prefer to see it on the other side just because this is the side I generally access everything at. But, you know, I guess it's better to have it than not have it at all. You will see power stabilizer jacks. These are also an option. So the front control operates the front two. The rear one operates the rear two. Power awning, which goes over the slide. Touch a button to roll it out. Same thing to have it go back in. And LED light strip underneath. You do have two speakers. One is in front of the slide. The other one is in the back behind the slide. To get into the 32BH, you have the foldable extended grab handle here, which it's a good thing it's a larger one because they have the more ride step above steps, which are great steps. But if you don't have a bigger grab handle, you kind of have to reach to be able to grab it. It can kind of be a pain. This makes it much easier. The steps themselves, again, you know, they are very solid. You don't have that springboard effect that you often have with the pull-out steps. Aluminum treads on there and the grip for added traction. Aluminum treads, of course, are great because they won't rust. The sidewall behind the fiberglass, they do use Asdel composite, which is a big deal. It's not a cheap material by any stretch, but it does have a couple of big advantages. The first one is weight. It's going to be going to be lighter than Luan, which is a good thing because, you know, this is kind of aimed toward being a lighter weight unit. Also, it doesn't absorb water or moisture like Luan does, so it helps eliminate the chance of delamination, which is the bubbles you see in the fiberglass. And also, it's a green material, so it doesn't off-gas like Luan tends to do. Underneath, this one does have a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. The vents are going right to the water tanks to make sure that the water tanks don't freeze up on you. Bear in mind, though, that the valves on this one, the dump valves, we'll see in a little bit, aren't insulated, so just be wary of that if you're camping in colder temps, you want to make sure to insulate those valves with like some heat tape and extra insulation and some other things just to make sure that you are prepared for the really cold climates. But, you know, if you plan on camping later in the fall, early in the spring when it just drops, you know, dips a little bit below freezing at night, you should be more than fine. You'll see TV hookups right back here. Now, let me know what you guys think, right? It's a little awkward in this floor plan because of the big slide. And I've been in multiple campsites where sometimes this is the best part of your campsite, but more often than not, it's a little more up front for me. I know there's not a great spot to put it up front. Maybe if they could have put it in the slide itself, or maybe hookups in the pass-through, something like that. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you like it back here, or would you rather see it somewhere else? What I do love back here, though, and one of the great things I love about a bunk model, is the outside kitchen. You'll see they do have a drip rail right up above here, which is great. I wish they would have put that, all the way around, like above the pass-throughs and stuff as well, but, it's nice to have back here. Same thing, though, covered hinge. It is magnetic, just like the front ones are. You have a little bit of storage right up top. Pull this big bad boy out. You will see that this one actually has a faucet. It's not just like the little clip-in ones. It is a built-in faucet there. Your plumbed sink. You have, whoops, if I can open it, there we go. Your 2-burner cooktop. That, of course, hooks up to the propane. Let's try that again. Hooks up to the propane quick connector underneath, just located there. So you can, of course, use that one. Otherwise, if you want to bring your own, if you have like your favorite grill or something like that you want to hook up, you can certainly do that as well. Fridge is located here. Gives you enough space for, a few beverages, condiments, whatever else you need to toss out there. Probably my favorite part of having an outside kitchen. Come to the back, you'll notice this is a spot to tie up your pet. So you have a nice little spot to hook up your leash, quite convenient to have. Square tubular bumper with end caps. That gives you a great spot in which you can store your sewer hose. Because this one has an outside kitchen, I would probably store it on this side over here. You'll also see your spare tires mounted to that, so it makes it very easy to access. And then right up top is backup camera prep. So if you want a backup camera, having that prep does make it easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. One last quick thing. Now, this one does not have a rear-mounted ladder, but it does have a fully walkable roof. So if you want to get up there for any kind of maintenance or sweep everything off, you are able to do that. Also, I didn't talk about it inside, but this one does have the optional 15K BTU AC. It comes with a 13.5, but you can upgrade it as we have done on this particular model. Right up top here is your freshwater fill. If you're going somewhere you don't have city water, you want to make sure to fill the freshwater tank, and that is the place to do it. Directly underneath that is one of 2 black tank flushes. This one, if you remember, has 2 bathrooms inside, so it has 2 black tanks. Both of those black tanks need to be washed out, and this is where you will wash out the half bath. You'll also see your 30-amp power cord will plug in right there. Satellite and cable inlets. Right down underneath, you'll see aluminum alloy wheels. Those also have easy lube hubs on them, so requires a little less maintenance. You don't have to repack the bearings nearly as often. Right down underneath is one of 2 terminations. You do have a rear termination too, but I did just want to point out, as I mentioned, the valves here you can see are exposed. So if you're camping in really cold climate, chances are these will freeze up. So if you are doing like winter camping, something like that, you want to make sure that you insulate this piping as well as these valves. Throw on some heat tape and stuff on there so that way that doesn't freeze up on you. Last thing you want is a big ice chunk right there at your termination. You'll also see here this is their black tank flush for the main bath. Your city water inlet is located up front. You have a spray port here, so that way if you need water access, need to wash off your hands after dumping, you have the ability to do that. And lastly, right up front is solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy the portable panels, plug it in right there, and it'll trickle charge your battery. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2020 Radiance 32BH. If you like this bunkhouse and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what you think they missed, or if you were designing this RV, what you would change. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.